Introduction to the surface grinder. This module will provide an introduction to the surface grinder, its major parts, and their functions. Surface grinding is used whenever production requirements call for precision, fine surface finishes. Surface grinding is the process of moving a workpiece beneath a rotating grinding wheel. There are four major types of surface grinders found in industry. They are the horizontal spindle grinder with reciprocating table, the horizontal spindle grinder with rotary table, the vertical spindle grinder with reciprocating table, and the vertical spindle grinder with rotary table. This program will deal with the first type mentioned. The surface grinder is constructed much the same as many of the other machines found in a machine shop. The column is mounted on the base of the machine and is the main support for the spindle housing and grinding wheel, sometimes called the grinding head. Here the guard has been removed to better show the grinding wheel and the spindle. Since a great amount of heat is generated when the grinding wheel is passing across the surface of a workpiece, coolant must be used to help reduce wear and prolong the life of the wheel. This is the coolant nozzle, and the knob controls the rate of coolant flow. The crossfeed, or saddle, is also mounted on the base of the machine. It provides an in or out movement of the table. There are adjustable stops in back of the crossfeed to limit the travel. The microswitch mounted on the column shuts off the power to the crossfeed and the table when the stop contacts it. The table is located on top of the saddle, and its direction of motion is to the left or right. Direction of table travel is reversed when the adjustable trip dogs strike the table traverse reverse lever. The table may also be moved by using the table hand wheel. A crossfeed hand wheel is also provided for manual movement of the crossfeed. The direction of crossfeed, either in or out, is controlled by this knob, which is located behind the hinged cover of the crossfeed hand wheel. There is also a neutral position in the event the crossfeed is not to be moved. By adjusting this knurled screw in or out, the amount of crossfeed travel for each cycle of table travel may be set. Most surface grinders are equipped with magnetic chucks, which are used to hold the work while it is being ground. Note, the side panels have been removed from the table to show the chuck. Power to the spindle, table, and coolant pump is all controlled by the switches in this panel. After the power to the table has been turned on, this lever is used to start and stop the hydraulic pressure used to control table movement. The table speed control is a hydraulic metering device used to adjust how fast or slow the table moves once the control lever has been activated. Since the table is permanently mounted to the base, some provision must be made to adjust the grinding wheel to the surface of the work. The vertical feed hand wheel controls the up and down movement of the grinding head in the column. Before using the surface grinder, the wheel must always be dressed. This is to provide a clean face on the wheel for the best working conditions. A special tool called a diamond dresser must be used to dress the wheel. There is an industrial diamond mounted on the tip of the holder that is capable of cutting the wheel. The magnetic chuck on this machine is a permanent magnetic chuck. It is made up of 4 major parts. The base plate is the base for the chuck and is also the part that attaches to the table. The magnets and the grid conductor bars are contained in the grid or magnetic pack, which in turn is housed in the case. The grid moves within the case whenever the chuck is activated. Pole pieces or inserts are built into the top plate. When the chuck handle is moved 180 degrees from the left to right, the pole pieces and the grid conductor bars are aligned. The magnetic force is then able to pass through the workpiece, securing it to the chuck. The proper setup and safe operation of the surface grinder calls for the utmost care and attention of the operator.